Welcome to Hollywood Secrets. In this thrilling episode, we are peeling back the golden veneer of the 1960s to expose the most infamous acting blunders of the decade. While the 60s gifted us with cinematic masterpieces and legendary performances, it also gave rise to some shockingly poor acting that even the magic of Hollywood couldn't save. Join us as we count down the 10 worst acting performances of the 1960s, a list that will leave you both amused and astounded. Number 1. John Wayne in The Conqueror, 1965. Kicking off our list is the Duke himself, John Wayne, whose portrayal of Mongolian warlord Genghis Khan in The Conqueror is as baffling as it is notorious. Wayne's drawling accent and stiff demeanor were painfully out of place, making this casting decision one of Hollywood's most infamous blunders. His performance, combined with the film's historical inaccuracies, left audiences and critics cringing.
How many markets did you observe?
30? No more.
We'll take twice that number. Call Bagurci and Sabaya.
Number 2. Elvis Presley in Harem Scarum, 1965. The king of rock and roll was no stranger to the silver screen, but his role in Harem Scarum was a low point. Playing a movie star who gets involved in Middle Eastern political intrigue, Elvis delivered a wooden performance devoid of his usual charisma. The film's campy script and Presley's lackluster acting earned it a place among the worst of the decade.
Is your love, darling, just a...
This is about the wildest orders I ever played to him, Bessa.
Yes, they seem very interested.
Number 3. Marlon Brando in Morituri, 1965. Marlon Brando, a titan of acting, delivered a surprisingly lackluster performance in Morituri. Despite the film's strong storyline, Brando's disengaged and mechanical portrayal of a German officer failed to resonate. His apparent disinterest and flat delivery contrasted sharply with his legendary roles in other films, making this performance a surprising misstep.
Allow me to apologize for it. No, you're very kind, but this is not your concern. But I personally don't believe that war is ever a solution to political conflict. But the war...
Number 4. Troy Donahue in My Blood Runs Cold, 1965. Teen idol Troy Donahue struggled to break out of his heartthrob mold in My Blood Runs Cold. His performance as a tormented lover was criticized for its lack of depth and conviction. Donahue's inability to convey genuine emotion turned what could have been a thrilling romantic drama into a forgettable experience.
I thought we'd be back there again, but I never saw you or the cave until last.
We met there on the cliff at night. We went down to a cave where we could be alone.
Number 5. Jayne Mansfield in The Fat Spy, 1966. Jayne Mansfield's career hit a low with The Fat Spy, a film that tried and failed to capitalize on the spy craze of the 60s. Mansfield's over-the-top performance as a scheming beauty queen was more cringe-inducing than comedic. Her exaggerated acting style, combined with a nonsensical plot, made this film a notorious flop. Number 6. Raquel Welch in Fantastic Voyage, 1966. Though Fantastic Voyage is a beloved sci-fi classic, Raquel Welch's performance left much to be desired. Cast more for her looks than her acting ability, Welch struggled to bring depth to her role as a scientist. Her wooden delivery and lack of emotional range stood out starkly against the film's groundbreaking special effects. Number 7. Sean Connery in A Fine Madness, 1966. Sean Connery, forever immortalized as James Bond, stumbled in A Fine Madness. Playing a rebellious poet, Connery's overacting and erratic performance failed to connect with audiences. His attempts at portraying a tortured artist came off as awkward and unconvincing, tarnishing his suave on-screen persona. Number 8. Peter Sellers in Casino Royale, 1967. Peter Sellers, known for his comedic genius, missed the mark in the chaotic James Bond spoof Casino Royale. Sellers' disjointed performance as one of the many James Bonds lacked the charm and wit audiences expected. His apparent behind-the-scenes clashes and erratic behavior translated into a muddled and disappointing portrayal. Number 9. Elizabeth Taylor in The Comedians, 1967. Elizabeth Taylor's illustrious career saw a hiccup with The Comedians. Her performance, opposite Richard Burton, was criticized for its lack of chemistry and forced delivery. Taylor's normally captivating presence felt stilted and unconvincing, contributing to the film's lukewarm reception. Number 10. George Peppard in PJ. 1968, ***. Closing our list is George Peppard's turn in PJ, a noir thriller that failed to thrill. Peppard's performance as a down-on-his-luck private detective was criticized for being dull and uninspired. His lack of energy and engagement made the film drag, overshadowing the potential of its gritty storyline. As we've journeyed through the worst acting performances of the 1960s, we've seen how even the brightest stars can sometimes falter. These performances remind us that not every role can be a hit and that even Hollywood icons are human. If you enjoyed this dive into cinematic history, be sure to subscribe to our channel and share this episode with your friends and family. Stay tuned for more eye-opening Hollywood secrets.